So I was going on Facebook, and I went to I was just browsing my newsfeed, and I have this one person who's really liberal leaning, and it's starting to annoy me a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking of unfriending this person, but she posted this on her thing. It says. Ellen found some research on what men think makes the perfect woman. The results might surprise you. And this is via Women's Rights News, so of course, you know, it's totally going to be impartial, and it's totally going to take all the facts into consideration. Okay, so I watched this video of Ellen DeGeneres talking about this article, and I really tried to find the article. I really honestly did, and I couldn't find the actual article. Like, I could find things of people talking about the article, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a previous study, which I think is done by the same website that I believe should be very similar to this, okay? So, I'm going to read what this one has to say, okay? We pulled the dating history from major cities in order to determine the definitions of the perfect woman based on the following female qualities. Now listen to this: hair color, eye color, vice, and education. So, as we can see, this one, which was done in 2002, which I'm guessing is going to be very similar to this study she's citing, is based on the following four qualities. So, this means that these people weren't asked what makes a perfect woman as like an open-ended question. They were asked, what hair color do you prefer? What eye color do you prefer? With smoking and drinking, what do you prefer? And then, what level of education do you prefer? Those are the four questions they asked. They were not asked what makes a perfect woman. Okay. Another thing to note is that this is a dating website. So, these are people that for all intents and purposes, can't get laid. So, um, usually, if you, I'm sorry to say this, but if you can't get laid and you have to go to a dating website, chances are there's something wrong with you, either personality-wise or something else. Um, so, we're already working from a kind of biased thing here. Um, but in this study, which is in 2002, so really honestly, I mean, the fact that the results would change so dramatically in 3 years, it just seems really unlikely to me. Okay, so it has categorized different cities: Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and San Francisco. And only one of these studies, or only one of these cities, said that they prefer blonde hair, which was Chicago. Okay. Um, Another thing about Chicago is it's in the Midwest, and a lot of the population in the Midwest is German and Norwegian. And so Chicago might be a little different because they have like a very large urban area, but the kind of people that would be on this dating website, that kind of makes sense. Um, and then we're gonna go to the eye color. It seems like there's a good tie between green and hazel. One had brown eyes, and only one said blue eyes. Um, every single one is social drinker, and every single one is non-smoker. I mean, is that really a surprise? Is there anybody that likes a partner that smokes? I that's really no surprise at all. And between the degrees, it's a mix between master's and bachelor's degree. Okay, so I showed that study, and now this is the study. I'm gonna rewind to where she says when the study was done, and I'm gonna play it for you guys. so that we kind of have,
to the question has come. They surveyed
so I
100,000
don't
men,
make
and
another
these are the
stupid
traits
mistake.
they said make the perfect woman. So pay attention, listen up if you're looking for somebody. First of all,
Oh, she didn't say what year it was, did she? Let's look here.
Surveyed 100,000 men, and these are the traits.
Let's go earlier here.
The news the other day,
Finally the answer
to the question has come. They surveyed 100,000 men, and these are the traits.
The news the other day. Well, it's reported on the news, but I've been to the articles, and I've looked at the links that they have. They don't have links to the actual study. All they have is links to the website. So it's really hard to. It was really hard for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not that good at navigating the web. It was really hard for me to see the study, and perhaps they even took it down after like all these people started attacking him for it. So, all right. So now I'm gonna kind of go ahead, and guess what? Fair use. I'm not even showing the actual video. I'm just talking about it. So, based on what she says the study found, it said that the perfect woman is blonde, blue eyes, slender, non-smoker, and was it social drinker and graduate degree? Okay, which is basically a bachelor's degree. Okay, so she found those, which this is complete, and I showed you the 2002 study done by the same website, and the results were completely different in terms of hair color and eye color, because only one of the 9 cities preferred blonde, and only one of the 9 cities, a different city, mind you, preferred blue eyes. So, the body shape probably wasn't even in the question, but, I mean, is that really a surprise?
Oh, so close. Although I am on TV, so I'm allowed to call myself a doctor. That's what Dr. Phil does. So, turns out that I, Ellen DeGeneres, am the perfect woman,
yeah,
which is a wonderful thing to know. The survey was done by a website called whatsyourprice.com. It's a dating website where you can bid.
You know, I'll say at least she acknowledges that these are scuzzy people that are being surveyed.
Take that down. I can't even look at her. You know, it's interesting that none of the traits the guys said they look for in a woman has anything to do with her personality. You would think that.
Now, see, did you just hear what she said? She said none of it is based on their personality. Well, the study, I'm guessing the study was just like the 2002 study, where it was set on a base of qualities. So, if it were set on a base of qualities, they wouldn't have even had the option to answer something related to their personality. But let's talk about this a little bit more, because okay, let's talk about the non-smoker. Let's talk about the slender too, and let's talk about the master's degree. Okay, or bachelor's graduate degree. Okay, so if you get a graduate degree, what does that say about you? Personality-wise, that says you're smart, you're independent, you're determined. You have a lot of qualities. That says a lot about your personality if you're able to get a graduate degree. Okay, and it says that you're able to make a living on your own. So that's, if you're a non-smoker, what does that say about your personality? That proves that you're healthy, you're health conscious, you have self-control, you aren't subject to peer pressure. I mean, that says a lot about your personality too. And you're slim, again. I mean, not to be mean here, but I'm gonna be mean. You know, if you are overweight, you are probably don't have as much self-control as somebody that is slender. And I'm saying this as I am categorized as overweight according to the CDC. So, and you know, I know that I overeat and that I don't have a lot of self-control sometimes, because, you know, I'll go into my fridge and I'll be like, salad or mac and cheese. I'll do the mac and cheese. you know, and it's about choices I make. So, you know, so, I mean, all these qualities have to do with your personality. Okay, so, let's go on.
They would have said that she's kind, or she has a sense of humor,
Well, that
or
would,
big breasts.
again, that was not in the
Well, that's
criteria.
not a personality, but you think they would have said that anyway. As someone once said, no one is perfect, but there is a perfect fit for you.
You think they would have said that? Yes, you would think that. You know, and you know, okay, let's talk about the people that are considered attractive, conventionally attractive by men. You know, so are these people all blonde? No. You know, are they all super skinny? No. You know, so I don't get what you should look at these results and say this doesn't make sense. Let me look at the survey and figure out what that actually says. But that's not what people on this women's rights news are there to do. I mean, what they're there to do is promote propaganda, which is going to sway your opinion in one direction. Before you can even think of the facts, it just wants to sensationalize it and put it out there and get you to instantly feel that way about something, you know. And it's really just another attempt to demonize men and misrepresent what their intentions are in relationships and such. So I mean, and it's again, it's not surprising that a women's rights news place would publish this kind of article because you can't talk about women's rights without talking about how evil men are and all that. At least Western men. We're not even going to talk about things that go on in other countries, you know, because they don't matter. So that really says a lot about. It really says a lot about how willing people are to just kind of jump on this bandwagon and just kind of share the shit out of this stuff and not really think about it that much. One last thing. This person, I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to, obviously, because that would be wrong. But I just want to point out this person is going to college for education. So this is somebody that plans to educate our children. And my challenge to any of you who are going into that field is that you really need to start thinking critically about things, and because that's a trait that you really need to pass on to kids, because that's a trait that they really need to have, so that like at least we can have some control over all this stupidity that's just being thrown around like confetti. Alright, so that's about all I had to say. So, signing out.